Well, guys, now it's time for our special guest. Darcy Miller is the editor-at-large of Martha Stewart Weddings, but she adds professional, memory keeper, confetti addict, and party expert to her resume, which is why it comes as no surprise that Bloomingdale's pop-up shop, the Carousel at Bloomingdales, has turned to her this year to create a collection of her own designs and pieces centered around love. Here to tell us more is Darcy Miller.
Oh, she brought treats. Woo!
Thanks for coming on.
How are you? Thanks for having me.
Hi, how are you? You're joining us. I'll shake your hand, but you're
yeah, sorry. I couldn't come empty-handed. Some cupcakes.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much.
Those look delicious.
So many pillows.
Can I just go ahead and, you know.
You can go in and eat it. Get Georgetown Cupcakes with my artwork.
This is your artwork.
It is, and I don't know if you know this, but you can send any artwork to Georgetown Cupcake, a photo, great for gender reveal, and they will put it on there.
What a great little party like treat.
Yes.
Exactly. Also, they make big ones and small ones. It's still the morning, so we went for the small.
Thank you for bringing these.
Exactly.
So will you tell us a little about the pop-up?
Yes. Well, it's very exciting. Bloomingdale's has started this rotating pop-up shop called the Carousel, where every 2 months it changes. It's in the 4 stores in 60th Street, New York, 60th Street in Soho, and San Francisco and LA, and then online. And each one they have an influencer. And so they asked me to be the influencer for this one, which is a Love Is shop for January and February, because I am big into Valentine's Day.
Yes.
I mean, Valentine's Day is my holiday.
Yeah.
So, and it's been really fun. I created a limited edition collection with everything from a gold tandem bike to Sugarfina candy cubes, let's see, I'll show you. Right in here.
A little love bag too.
Here's a little chocolate Louis Sherry. It's a little mailbox of chocolates, and it opens and it has love mail inside.
I love that.
So it's been really fun, and I'm excited, and it's really just gifts for everyone you love, including yourself.
Yes. And so, what was your inspiration for a lot of the pieces you came up with?
Well, I think the inspiration came from all the gifts that I actually like to get for people, or I would like myself. And a little bit of my background is that I'm an illustrator, and I have always made party favors. I had a party favor business when I was at University of Pennsylvania, and then my parents said you have to get a job for a year before you have your business, and that was in '91, and I started working for Martha Stewart, and then that was 27 years ago. So I've always loved to make things for people. So since then, it's always been, I'll, put my artwork on a little journal for a friend, or one of my favorite baby gifts is to give someone a journal that says the baby's name. And I tell everyone, give it to them, put it by your bed, and as your baby and child grows up, just write a couple lines here and there. And it's nothing, you don't have to write a lot. And so there are all these little gifts that I've always done, and now I'm actually able to sell them.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's really exciting.
And you're the editor-at-large
of Martha Stewart
Weddings, which is such an amazing job, I'm sure. What's your favorite part about the role?
Oh, well, it's transitioned a lot over the years as the brand has grown and evolved. And I don't know, I think for me, one of the great things is that I started at Martha Stewart Living when they were launching. And then when we started weddings, I was 25 and single. And Martha said, oh, we're going to make you the wedding editor. I was like, absolutely not. My brother-in-law said, if you ever go on a blind date and tell a guy you're the wedding editor, he's going to check, please.
Right.
So, and Martha said to me, I think you're going to really like it, because weddings is really about people and entertaining and food and crafts and travel and all the things you love. And the wedding industry has changed so much since 1995. And I just met, I don't know his name, one of the photographers back there who is a wedding photographer also. But the industry has really gotten so creative and really inspiring. And so one of my favorite parts of the job is having seen this industry grow and work with so many talented people, whether it's Georgetown Cupcakes or a chocolate company like Louis Sherry, and working with couples, because at the end of the day, that's kind of what it's about.
And you did end up getting married, and I hear that Martha actually introduced you to your husband?
Yes, well, so when we started weddings in '95, she said, oh, you can't get married because once you have your own wedding, you're not going to want to do it anymore. And then, you know, fast forward 5 years, she was like, you're getting old. You're gonna miss the boat. As I quote her, you're gonna miss the boat. I'm like, thanks, Mom.
Yeah.
It's like what my mother really wanted to say to me, but she couldn't.
So she told Martha Stewart to say it.
So, exactly, I'm sure. So Martha definitely tells you what she's thinking.
Yes.
So she told me, and she fixed me up with my husband, who was her lawyer. And she said, I found your husband. And I will say that it was not love at first sight.
Okay.
But so we were friends for a couple years. And Martha kept on saying to me, he's your husband, he's your husband. And then when we actually started to date, I was like, oh, I can't tell her. What if it doesn't work out? I'm going to get fired.
Oh, my God.
She's going to be mad at me. And once we started going out, we got engaged, you know, soon thereafter. And I will say she's 100%, you know, you never want to admit that your boss is right and you were wrong, especially Martha, who's, you know, thinks she's always right. But she was 100% right. I am super lucky. I have, like, amazing.
That's why she's Martha Stewart.
Husband.
Yeah.
Exactly, who has been so patient as, you know, at 3 o'clock in the morning, I've been drawing lips and on calls, and, you know, we have 3 daughters. And
cool.
so, you know, and I owe her a fix-up. So if anyone has a cute guy, I feel like I owe her a fix-up. But, you know, that's on my list.
What's her type?
I don't know. I don't know if my
Successful?
segment's long enough to figure that out. I mean,
You're gonna come back
no,
and we're
she's fun.
Yeah.
She's fun. She just needs a great, smart,
Okay.
you know, interesting,
CEO.
you know, out of the box. You know, she's, I don't know.
I'll keep her in mind
Yeah, well-
when I see
You know
men.
the thing about,
Yeah,
you never know. You know, the thing about like fixing up and chemistry and being in the wedding business is everyone says, like, this is your type. And,
Right.
and having done so many weddings and been through this, it's like, it's not always the person that you think, you know, people think is the right person. It just like the chemistry has to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So any ideas, that'd be great.
I love it that you love love. That's-
Oh yeah, no, celebrate love. I mean, my book that I wrote last year was Celebrate Everything, and I was with you guys for the launch of that, and the book is really about celebrating everything, and it's parties and crafts and anniversary party, baby shower, bridal shower, and so now that my next step of celebrating everything is celebrating love.
Yeah, so in that book, you list like all the different reasons, as random as they can be, to throw a party. So what's the most random reason you threw a
I
party?
brought you guys a book, but if you want to look through it, I wrapped it with confetti. So I don't know if anyone here is going to kill me if we get a little confetti
Lovely.
on your rug.
I feel
If
bad
not,
opening it. It's so pretty.
If not, go to town,
Yeah.
open it. So yes, there's always a reason to celebrate, and I think that, you know, the last line of the book, you know, says, well, after I give you all these ideas for favors and food and crudité and everything else, the last line of the book that says, no matter what goes wrong, like, just life is short and celebrate everything.
I love that.
So-
I live like that. So I want to know, what's the most random party that you've ever thrown? Like, what was it for?
Random, I don't know. I think that, like, I'm into celebrating, like, the little stuff too, you know, and that, like, you know, I think especially having kids, it's like with,
Look
oh
at
no.
this purple cake.
Oh yeah.
I love
oh,
it.
Yeah. Okay, so Pippa's birthday, my daughter Pippa's, her favorite color was purple. So one day on the way to school, I asked the other kids, what should we do for Pippa's party? So we had Pippa's purple party.
Oh, I
And
love that.
everything, and you know, I think that there's tons of ideas, but I think what people, for me, my hope is that the inspiration comes in any little way. You could go all out. You could be getting purple Gatorade, Play-Doh, cookies, M&Ms, or, you know, you could do just one little touch. And I think that that's, you know, the most important thing. It's like, do what kind of works for you. And, you know, celebrate people around you, and, you know, and don't just wait for the big occasions to celebrate.
Are there any hot like party trends in 2019? Are throwing parties like that, like seasonal, like there are hot trends that come about?
Well, there's always trends in weddings and parties,
Right.
and, you know, silent discos became popular, you know, and for ages, the barn wedding, and, you know, was popular, and, you know, after parties I think that for me, when people, because a lot of people get engaged, we're like, oh, tell me, you know everything. What's the newest thing? You know, instead of starting with the newest thing, I go back to the list in the front, which is think about you. And there's a list. Your favorite food, your favorite character, your favorite book, your favorite movie, where you've traveled, where you've lived, where you've, you know, because it's always that little thing. When my husband and I were, you know, first dating, we went to Paris. And so I wanted some touch of that at the wedding. And so our wedding cake was inspired by Stacked La Durée boxes, a bakery that's in Paris, which is now in the U.S. So, you know, sometimes I've seen everything where people incorporate their dogs in certain ways, whether it's in a cookie or in naming a cocktail after their dogs, or if the dogs can't travel to the wedding.
Cute.
Oh, that's so
That's
cute.
really cute.
I love that. Darcy, thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thank you.